Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and if you do enjoy the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Wow, what a blockbuster of a show have I got for you today. It's not too often you get in on something when it's so early and so new with this much potential. And I think that by the end of this video, you're going to be spending a lot of time over the next couple of hours researching this. You won't go to bed because I think I've come across something really exciting that's going to carry us for very well into the next 12 to 24 months. That's how excited I am about Bullion FX. Now, if you jump on bullionfx.com, you can learn about Bullion FX. But why is the Serpent so excited? You know, it's not too often that I get this excited about something. And, you know, while all our favorite cryptos, the entire market, the entire industry has been going down, Bullion FX is flying under the radar at the moment. And it's only by chance that I've been able to get in as early as I've been able to get in. And I am super thankful for that because I don't think that there are too many people in the industry that are able to do what I'm able to do with you today this early on and for something this exciting. Now, it has just been listed on its first exchange. It's already, you know, in the short time frame that it's already been on there, it doubled in price, and now it's, you know, it's incredible what is going on at the moment and the amount of potential. They have a super aggressive listing strategy across many big time exchanges, including names like Binance as well. And the roadmap itself is fascinating. Fascinating what is going on right now. On bullionfx.com, you've got the buy bull button already there, ready to go. It's only been a couple of days that it's been on. But what, like, from a short-term, mid-term, each step of the way, right? The timeline that this Bullion FX has is so exciting. It is literally a pleasure to be on and you know to give you guys this, because when you understand what I'm about to tell you in the next couple of minutes around the opportunity around the the bull token and the gold token that Bullion FX has inside its ecosystem, it's phenomenal. Like, put it that way, right? To give you a perspective, right, from a gold token perspective, it's better than competitors because of the decentralized aspect. Institutional grade audit, which we will go into what an institutional grade audit is. Of course, anybody can get an audit, but an institutional grade audit is a completely different ballgame. It's always sold at spot price with low fees as well, right? So for commissions on gold transactions are not loaded into the gold price, and they're derived back to the bull token. And it all makes sense in a couple of minutes when I go through go with you through the entire ecosystem. But this allows a true at spot gold price, which is really important in the marketplace. And when you start to research this stuff, this is a very exciting point. Now, from a Bullion FX, they're in talks with some of the biggest names in the Forex industry about providing gold as a stable currency. I mean, look, where could it go, right? I mean, when we look at things like USDT, BTC, ETH, why not gold as more of a stable asset? You know, like we have our stable coins, but why not gold in that particular aspect? And so there is a lot here to unpack today to cover off with you, but stay tuned because I am so freaking excited to share with you the opportunity here. Now, when we talk about the decentralization of the entire ecosystem, let's start with this because it's important to understand the decentralized aspect of it, right? This could end up being the first decentralized bank in the world. That's how big we're talking here. That's why I get this excited. I don't often get this excited, right? I'm pretty certain by the end of this, by the time I stop hitting the record button, I will have no voice left. That's how excited I am around the whole, the entire process of Bullion FX. Now, when we're talking about decentralized banking platform and its various products, former CTO, global head of operations and founding member of Ethereum, is personally project managing the build of the Bullion FX platform as the first signature program through Braveno. I mean, we're talking about people that were there at the beginning, at founding members of Ethereum are jumping on. From yields to payments to DeFi to synthetics, this entire decentralized ecosystem it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Now, with masterpieces, what you have to understand as well is from a longevity point of view, it's not something that it takes a couple of days to create, right? This has been years and years and years in the making, and the people behind the Bullion FX have some of the most illustrious names when it comes to business, when it comes to blockchain, when it comes to development, and we'll go over that, right? So we'll go over just how big that particular side of the organization is, because at the end of the day, what's really, really, really important, especially when it comes to a project of this size, and we're talking, the next 12, 24 months are going to be really, really exciting inside this particular ecosystem. To be in only a couple of days from launch is phenomenal. Absolutely, absolutely phenomenal. Now, I want to talk to you about the audit, and because the audit is really, really important. And on this website, right, I mean, I've done a phenomenal job from a branding perspective, but the audit is something that really stood out to me. And it's not something that stands out to a lot of people in the industry, but audits are really, really important, especially at this mass scale of an opportunity. Now, when we talk about institutional grade audits, this particular institutional grade audit took 2 years to get. The compliance and insurance purposes of the big end of town have this type of audits taken. So your Goldman Sachs, that type of level of organizations have this type of audit. Now, when we talk about audits and why it's so important in this particular ecosystem, like if you're going to become a decentralized bank of the future, you would want to be audited really, really well. So why have such a level of audit so early on? You might ask, right? I mean, why would Bullion FX take on such a 2-year process to do this? Well, for compliance and insurance purposes, right, at the big end of town, so your Credit Suisse and your Goldman Sachs will only abandon their traditional ways of trading or holding gold with an order like this. That's the only way that they're going to do it, right? Because it makes the process a lot easier. So traditionally, banks don't like holding gold. It's expensive to hold and secure it and hard to sell. And it takes time to liquidate. But soon, with the ecosystem of Bullion FX, for all the benefits of the gold tokens, they will bring secure, liquid, no storage, and the exact gold quantity known and audit for the compliance and insurance. So that's why this audit was so important. Now, anyone can get an audit, but to get an institutional grade audit is definitely better. Robust and a huge barrier to entry for any competitor that wants to come in tomorrow, say, and build something like Bullion FX. And so that's why, the audit is such an important aspect of this, right? If you want to get the big end of town, if you want to have a traditional method turned on its head, then that would have been a big barrier for someone like Goldman Sachs. So having this level of audit is phenomenal, and especially again at such an early stage. Now, there are 2 tokens which are part of the Bullion FX ecosystem. There's the Bull token, which is available today, and then there's the Gold. So the world's first institutional grade gold-backed cryptocurrency. So gold has solved the inherent problems competitors have around liquidity, institutional grade order, physical withdrawal, and reputation. And more details are coming soon, and there is a pre-register button. Now, when you do press the pre-register button, it takes you here. Very smooth process, a couple of details that they need, and then they will keep you up to date as it comes available. Now, they also do have a phenomenal news page as well, and we'll cover off some of the big names like Mark Boris, which are investing in Bullion FX. And like I mentioned, the list itself of the people involved is star-studded, and I can't wait to go over that with you. There is also a Discord community that you can be a part of as well, and I do extremely highly encourage you to do that. And in a few moments as well, I'll go over the white paper and why the white paper is really, really, really important to go over, especially for something like this, that and something that is going to be around for a very, very long time. You know, I always mention read the white paper, but it's never been more important like it is today, because there is really, really a lot to unpack, and I want you guys to be very, very well informed around what is going on. Now, some of the investors are execs from companies like Visa, Airbnb, Twitch, and other big companies like Torian Resources, a publicly listed company that just did a major ASX announcement. These guys aren't stupid, right? People, like organizations and that invest, like the ones that I just mentioned, they don't back something unless it's a winner. Like, simple as that. They do not back something unless it is a winner. And for me, what I think is really, really what I think is really, really important here is to, when you start to go over the entire ecosystem and when you start to look at everything that is going on, you really, really start to get a real big picture here. And this is big picture stuff. This is not for the faint-hearted, right? This is not something that you're going to watch this video and you'll know absolutely everything that you need to know about this. No. You're gonna spend the time, research who these people are, research white paper, go through the entire website. It's that good of an opportunity, and I will not waste your time. You know that. We've been around together for a long time now, and you know that when the serpent speaks, he's already done his research, but I really do encourage you to spend the time, because if you do spend the time in 2021, by the time we get to 2023, you're going to be very, very happy with all the minutes that you spent analyzing and learning more about Bullion FX. Once you've read the white paper, you've gone on the website, you've analyzed this, right, and you've started to get an understanding of what Bullion FX can do short-term and long-term, right? Because there are some short-term things that are going to be coming out real quick, but long-term, right? This is why I get excited about this stuff, because I'm a long-term player. I don't play short-term. I look at things I look for massive opportunities that hardly anybody's talking about, which I'm very fortunate to be talking to you about it. And then you're going to look at this, right? You're going to look at the executive team. Now, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to talk to you about Stephen Moss. Now, Steve Moss is someone who understands how to bring traditional banking systems into the new era of decentralized finance in a way that the majority will understand for mass adoption. That's Steve. That's literally what Steve does. Now, Steve's father, Bill, was one of the founders of Macquarie Bank. Just going to repeat, right? For the Australian listeners, you know about Macquarie Bank, right? So his father was one of the founders of Macquarie Bank, the largest investment bank in Australia. Now, with over 100 billion assets under management all over the world in 32 markets. So we're talking about extremely qualified person to come in and disrupt the industry, because that's what Bullion FX is essentially going to do. Now, you can only imagine the type of exposure Steve had growing up. I mean, your father is one of the founding members of Macquarie Bank. You can only imagine the type of exposure that he's had. And more importantly, when you understand an industry so well, when you have inside knowledge of the industry, only then can you see the flaws and how to build it better with the new tools and systems that we have available for us today, which is blockchain. That's literally what we're talking about here. Disrupting the banking industry with the utilization of blockchain is essentially why I'm so excited to talk to you today. About this. Now, if you weren't impressed enough with Steve represented Australia at a national level on blockchain technology and worked hand in hand with BDO for over 2 years to build the world's first institutional grade blockchain audit. Now, I mean, that's commitment. That is commitment. Now, I'm going to work really, really hard to get this guy on an interview. I don't care what I got to do, how I got to do it. Like, this is happening, right? He's in Australia. I'm going to get him. and I'm going to make it happen. I'm not sure how I'm going to make it happen yet. I will be sending them this video to say, hey, check out this. This is what I think of your organization. Get me Steve. I want Steve. I need Steve now. And if you guys comment the word Steve, if you think that you would want to know more about this guy and what he's created here with this particular organization called Bullion FX. So it's really, really important, that we get him on, because I think, as the way that I'm seeing this, ecosystem, I think this ecosystem is here to win. And I think from an advisory board, like some of the, from an investor's point of view, like there is so much to unpack here. There is so much to unpack. So that was the, from the executive team, which again, what I'm telling you is, I told you a little bit about Steve, but you got to go do research on every single one of these guys, right? Find them on LinkedIn, research about them, learn as much as you can about them, because it will pay huge dividends. Now, when we talk about the advisory board, John Teo, one of the biggest names in Silicon Valley, who led investments in Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, is on here. Is on this board. David Moss was the CTO of EOS blockchain and helped manage the largest ICO raise in history, 4 billion, when EOS launched. Mark Boris, we talk about business people in Australia, Mark Boris's name comes up, right? He is a phenomenal serial business entrepreneur, tells it like it is, does not sugarcoat anything, and is one of the most serial entrepreneurs in Australia. A man that, you would argue that there are not too many business people that are of his level. He's on the board. Peter Hodge, director of BDO, a man with decades of business experience. The list just goes on and on and on here. Like, this is, I don't know what to tell you, right? I'm just that excited about it that I really don't know, where do we go from here, right? There is just so much to uncover. Now, when we do talk about Bullion FX, if you do click on the buy bull, it takes you to DigiFinex, which is the first exchange to allow the bull token to be traded. Now, DigiFX is the top 20 exchanges with 1.5 billion of daily volume. So that's where we go. That's where we go, and we get on board with it. So obviously you do your general thing. You register for your account, bull/USDT, and you can see you can see that it's only been a couple of days. Literally been a couple of days, which is really, really exciting. Of course, inside of the Discord community, there is plenty of information that comes on very, very quickly that you can get a hold of, so which is really, really important. The news as well, so right, you can check out where they've been, some of the most recent news, and from a branding perspective as well, right? Like, they would have spent mega on this. It looks really, 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 really superb. And then, of course, when we look at social accounts, it's really important. Hit the follow button. Hit the alarm bell. Typical, right? You hear me guys talk about this all the time. Super, super important, to do things like this, because again, you got to stay up to date. You got to keep your finger on the pulse, because it is so crucial, so crucial to stay up to date, especially with an ecosystem like the Bullion FX ecosystem has. Then you click on the white paper. When you do click on the white paper, at the moment, the white paper for the Bull token is available. And when you click on the download, it takes you to this link. You know what I'm about to say. I say it every single time. 20 pages, and you really do yourself a favor and read every single line that is here. When you don't understand it, go back, read it again, go back, read it again until you get it, right? There is an entire background, so a brief history of gold, the evolution of money, why it's so exciting, for this ecosystem to be around, the gold markets today, the physical gold markets today, the gold-backed stablecoin, the fiat-backed stablecoins, why a gold stablecoin makes sense, what problems that they're trying to solve, all in here. literally one by one, all in here. The gold token overview, everything is in this. And make the time to read it, because if you make the time to read it, you will come back in the comments and say thank you, because it is going to be that good of an ecosystem what is coming up. I cannot explain it in any other way. And I'm fortunate that, you know, being that some of the some of the people on the advisory board and some of the people are people that I follow and associate myself with on LinkedIn, that I just happened to come across. And then and I'm so excited, you know, to have found something of this mass scale with such a large vision, you know, to become the first decentralized bank. And I think they're going to do it. And I actually, you know, like one of the main reasons that I am excited to bring it to you is because I look at the advisory board, I look at the people behind it, I look at the people on the executive team. I think they can do it. Like, I actually genuinely think that they can do it. And we'll look back 12, 24 months from now and be like, wow, in September, we were talking about this, right? In September 2021, we were talking about this, right? And then you see it at mass scale all over the world. I hope you learned something new today. I hope you do your research. I hope that you spend the time, like I've spent the time to read about this, because it takes a lot for the serpent to get excited, but I am absolutely excited for this one. And if you do like the videos, if you learn something new, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.